let's make sure that you love every glass of wine you drink. I'm going to give you my top tip to get the most out of each wine. It's simple, it's not hard to get right, and it's going to improve every single bottle for you. Serve your wine at the right temperature. Too often we serve our white wines far too cold. This totally deadens the wine. It stops all those lovely flavours and nuances from bursting out. The only wine you can serve ice cold, that's 4 to 7 degrees, is a sparkling or a champagne or a light-bodied white, like an unwooded Chardonnay or a young Chenin. In summer, make sure you start with these wines at 4 degrees. It's going to warm up in your glass, so you'll soon be drinking it more like 7 on your typical Australian summer's evening. Full-bodied white wines and rosés can all be served a little bit warmer, more like 7 to 13 degrees. These have got bigger, bolder flavours, so they need to be that bit warmer, which will allow all those beautiful aromas to escape from the glass. This will help capture both your sense of smell and your sense of taste. This is great for wines like Verdelho or an oak Chardonnay or an aged Semillon. The most common wine mistake made in Australia is serving your red wines way too warm. Room temperature is only okay in winter, unless your air conditioning is an awful lot better than mine. So I think light-bodied reds like a Grenache or a Pinot Noir really ought to only be served slightly warmer than a Chardonnay, which is more like 12 to 15 degrees. This is also a great temperature to run a wine fridge at if you happen to have one. But generally, I'll just put these lighter reds in my normal fridge for about half an hour before I open them. And then full-bodied reds like Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon, no warmer than 20 degrees, and I mean this. So if it's a warm 35-degree day, get those wines in the fridge, even if it's just for 15 minutes. And this is where a good thermometer can be handy, just as to help you calibrate how cold the bottle feels compared to the actual temperature of the wine inside. It's not rocket science, but it can be misleading. Test this for yourself. I've got some British friends and they only drink red wine, and they always insisted it had to be at room temperature. One really warm summer's evening, we were having a barbecue, I cracked. I stopped them all from drinking. I said, look, this wine is just far too warm. I left them with a tasting sample in their glass and I put that bottle in the freezer. About 5-10 minutes later, I again only let them have another tasting sample, but everyone agreed that the wine tasted much better. I then put it back in the fridge for another 10 minutes. Okay, so this might have been a bit too long, but really 5 minutes on the table and that wine was the perfect drinking temperature again. If your red wine's too hot, all you're going to taste is that hot alcohol. Whereas at the right temperature, you can smell and taste all the nuances, the ripe berry fruit, the chocolatey oak, and that lovely long finish. Honestly, serving and drinking wine at the right temperature will make your bottle taste 100% better. These are the temperatures that the winemaker really expects you to drink your wine at. This is when he's tasting, when he's smelling it, that's the temperature he's doing it at. So if you drink your wine at suboptimal temperatures, you're totally ripping yourself off. Go on, give it a go.